Yeah, if we don't live in the moment, we're not living.
But it's great. Would you do more like assisted living back there? And also, I mean, is that something that's you want to continue doing?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, I don't really know. I feel very, very patient and open about following what feels right in that realm. And so I don't know if that, I have a feeling it might be like dealing, like potentially trying to get my foot in the door with like a hospice organization, more so than just like general caretaking.
Yeah.
Because that's some real shit, man. That's like
it's terminal care.
It's like there's so much. It's like it's very volatile, for people, for families. While at the same time having this level of like stripping away everyone's armor when individuals have to give up what may have been decades of this idea that we're fighting, we're figuring it out, we're finding new stuff, we're healing, and that's like this active, come on, don't talk like that, this is gonna turn around type of energy. When it opens up into acceptance, and there's another word I'm looking for. It's like vulnerable acceptance. Can't think of what it is. But yeah, and so I have a feeling that along this path, there's some level of training and expertise that I might feel would really benefit my role. I don't know.
Sure.
I could see myself being like stepping into like being like a touch point of communication for families who are thinking hospice might be necessary. I'm thinking maybe even something like doing a training to become like a nursing assistant, to have some level of fulfilling a role of doing some of that, light medical care that isn't, isn't like what nurses or doctors do, but where that would be an aspect, and that could be a touch, a main point of why I might be showing up in people's homes, and then my presence there to then expand into opening up conversations that are hard for people to know how to initiate and how to accept and all that. So anyway,
yeah, how you get that door open
exactly
for them, yeah, because
right.
they got, the whole thing runs on hope it's going to get better, hope they find a pill, hope.
Right.
In other words, that they don't die, but they don't even want to look at that as a possible B plan, or anything.
Right.
That's the way my brother was out there too. I tried to, at the time, it's like, well, I was doing it real superficial at the time. If you got all your paperwork ready, I only talk about the paperwork. I'm going to get better,
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that just falls falls in your lap with the logistics and the paperwork and the life insurance and the health insurance and the what do I I could just I don't know. I've done a little bit of research about looking into like what the role of a death doula is. Have you heard of death doulas?
Oh yeah. I've got some things on saved on my phone about that. It was from one of the Lion's Roar magazine that I get. They had one a few months ago. I tell you what, Zen Buddhists know how to deal with this stuff. And it's like, they're the ones that have been doing it forever. When you read this stuff, it's like, oh yeah. It's just like, just everything that has to be done at that time. And, I think we were talking once before, but do you want to bathe the body? Remember? Yeah. That was where some of that was coming from.
Yeah.
And what kind of thing, there where they were, you want to do it outside? You want to have a ceremony? Who do you want to invite for this last day of your being in contact with this loved one?
Right.
Anyway, I digress again.
Please do. Yeah, I think.
But I'm going to go back on it. I'm still digressing on it.
Yeah.
But the people that you're talking about, getting them to think about, you're not necessarily talking about the one that's on their deathbed or dying or whatever. You're talking about the rest of the family. And the rest of the family is dealing their own stuff, not the dying person. And I would think that would be the doorway, which I think we talked about a little bit before. What can we do to help, Grandpa's last few days be better? And then anybody would have a better chance of getting into it that way.
Yeah.
I'm just chattering here a little bit, but you got to take it out of their fears.
Right.
I'm brainstorming a little.
Yeah.
I processed all of this stuff out loud.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that about me, I hope.
Yes, indeed.
I don't think about it and then say what I mean.
We're the same in that way.
And hoping to get somewhere.
I know. I mean, I was just talking about this the other day that this is a form of expression.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting and thinking oftentimes doesn't quite have the ability to feel like a form of expression.
Right.
And it's in expressing what there is that we find out what that is.
Yeah.
I was reading one thing about, and this really spoke to me, of like a death doula like wrote this article about having a longer, being with a patient who had like a longer terminal diagnosis. So there was like some time and they were able to really build a relationship. And she was focusing on like having the dying person figure out what type of message would you want your loved ones to receive from you after you're gone, in like a form like writing a letter.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that you could say it to them, but how there's this way that like extending your love towards your family in the moments when their grief of your passing is at its peak. That just felt so beautiful to me.
And that there would be something there to get them out of their own misery and thinking about the others.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's just like, okay, get out of your own stuff and see what can be done for the other person. That's perfect. That's how it should be, I would think.
Yeah.
Although I would want them to be aware of the process they were going through. Both sides, actually. Now that I say that.
Totally.
You know, those feelings that you're having because, you know, Grandpa's dying. You know, where are they coming from? What do you think they mean? You know? And then for the person on the deathbed, it's just like, what do you think? What are you thinking about your life and how will it impact those that are still going to be behind? You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of a two-way road, I guess, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I've been following up on my premonitions to make phone calls.
Cool.
Remember I told you the last one I called and talked to a cousin of mine and everything was fine. Oh, glad you called, you know, and we just kind of pumped each other up. The one before that, I didn't call and I found out he passed away.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, looks like calling has better outcomes, which is not true, of course.
Right.
But I'm more attentive to that kind of thing than I have been before. I just blow them off kind of before, you know. I've been doing a lot of meditating though, too. And it's not like I have revelations during meditation time.
Yeah.
But then out in the world, things just slap me. You know, we're seeing. Where were we? I don't know. I was somewhere in a restaurant, I think, and there were a bunch of people going by. It was like I couldn't focus on who they were, but I knew I loved them all. You know, it was just really impactful.
Wow.
And that's the kind of thing I've always thought would happen during meditation.
Right.
But I think that's more just a quieting time, maybe to help you open up to experience the world from a somewhat different, a somewhat big time different viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to me just watching TV and stuff. You know, they're showing things from Israel and all that. It's just like I have a hard time, you know, just not crying about it all.
Yeah.
But I'm on a journey.
Yep.
And I'm on one here with Leota too, with you know, taking care of her that we've talked about. It's just like every time I think I've got it figured out, then there's a twist. It's like, damn, I haven't been here before. Didn't even expect this one. You know, it's just like, yeah, it's okay. You know, deal with it. What are we going to do if she gets worse? Don't worry about it. You're not handling what's happening right now very well.
Yeah.
Why add more to it? And then I can slowly get through it too. You know, it's like, okay, just breathe. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I want her to participate more, and I don't think I can. I wanted to have a discussion with her about, okay, I will do anything you can't do or anything you want me to do. Help me out with that. I don't get anywhere. Well, I don't know. So it's kind of back on me to be more observant to see where things are going.
Wow.
And I've also noticed she's getting a little more stubborn, and it's because I'm probably, what do they call it? Hovering parent, you know that thing? Or helicopter parent? What was that? There was an expression.
Yeah, helicopter parent.
And then I'm starting to say, okay, relax a little here. You know, it's like you want to do it right. Like you were talking when you were first going into some of your places, you weren't sure what you're going to have to do, and I'm kind of feeling, you know, those same kinds of things. And you can't look into a crystal ball because you don't really know what's going to happen. So just trust that's there. I've had that other expression before. What do you do when you don't know what you're doing? And a while back, I would have answered things, well, you do some research and you talk to people. And I think a better answer is just shut up and listen. So it's just, you know, sometimes that's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Cousin Tom out in California, his wife's mother passed away. And his wife's family, there's 5 kids. There's 2 against 3 at the moment, but that's another story. But he was saying that, you know, she just cries every day. And I said, uh-huh. He says, and I give her a hug and I listen, but I don't know what else to do. I says, there's nothing else to do. So that's all. She's going to grieve at her speed and her way. And all you can do is just be there. Oh, yeah, but I want to do something. I says, you can't fix it. Got to let it go. And let them work through it. And you're just their support for whatever way they want to go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I understand. You want it done and over with because it's uncomfortable for you. It's not the way things used to be. But, you know, you at least know this will be over in time. You just don't know how long. But anyway, we had this conversation going. And it was like he wanted to fix it, which is, I think, a male problem or something. I don't know. Just observe, you know.
And that is born from the premise that it's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, or that it shouldn't be like this for this long. Like, it's okay for X amount of time. It's okay for what we perceive to be the right amount of, you know, like,
that's a good perspective.
It's something that you will graduate from.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah.
That, you know, just that it's not a problem.
Yeah.
I've made it one. Or Tom made it one.
Mm-hmm. And
very relaxing.
And the way, you know, because you're looking at the way that it wasn't like this before.
Oh yeah.
You know, but it's like, yeah, that's because the death hadn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all this space to fill. And that is what space is for. To be filled.
Yep.
And being alongside that and being the one to listen is helping to fill.
Well, just to say that, you know, it's not a problem until I make it one.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like, talk about giving yourself some power. I have the power for it not to be a problem. Okay, do I want it to not be a problem? It just shines a lot lot of insight onto it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I could relate it even to what you were telling me earlier about sharing with your friends that you would be leaving.
Right.
Is that a problem? Well, yeah, if I make it one.
Right. Right.
Otherwise, I can just deal it. Crazy.
And yeah, it's like even this idea that like it supposes this idea that I'm in the wrong. Almost.
Oh, on that with
this idea that like, well, the whole premise on which this living situation was changing has now shifted while this right before this the change is actually about to happen. And then here it is, it's like I'm making it a problem because I'm assuming that Ari only wanted to move in for a full year to 2 years of us,
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, well, I don't have to cling to assuming that that's what this is.
Right.
Like you said, like the time that we do have isn't nothing. It's a long time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moments, a lot of days, several seasons to go. And yeah. Yeah, like thinking back to Tom, like seeing himself in this role of like, well, I want to be a fixer.
Mm-hmm.
I want to help the healing progress past the stage where I am uncomfortable by the way the healing is happening.
Perfect. Yeah. So I don't see it as a problem.
So that I don't see it as a problem.
But it's up to you, not me.
Right.
That's weird. But
or is there why can't the way that I fix be something more like a tangible action that makes it feel more like I'm helping?
Yeah, could be.
Right. I don't want to project this results. And I don't want to project that onto him. It's just an idea of how I think that can be the case. Like, well, even like can I make you a week's worth of meals? Would that be a way that I can be of help? Like this. Because
that's one thing he said, that he cooks every night.
Yeah.
When she comes back from the house, or she's cleaning up the house now, apparently. Her siblings have left.
Right.
So I said, that's excellent. That's perfect.
Totally.
But but it still hasn't, her crying all the time is his problem.
Sure.
He doesn't want her to do that. And I can understand that, but it's like, whoa.
Right.
What would he be like if Joanne passed away?
Yeah.
Stoic? I don't know. Could. If I was around, I'll bet he wasn't. Tom, how are you really feeling? But anywho, not a problem unless I make it. You screwed up my whole life, and I'm 85. I'm thinking back, how many times have I done that? Holy moly. Even with a kind of in your subconscious, you kind of know that.
Yeah, yeah.
But you just won't, your ego won't let it come out or something. Maybe I'll have another 85 to get right. What do you think?
And I've talked about this a lot, which is how how like how powerfully our expectations can feel like that's part of the basis from which we're judging what is happening.
Sure.
And I was talking about this the other day because I was finishing up a shift at work uh, with one of my clients, and I was like thinking of all this stuff that I wanted to do when I got home.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get home and I no longer feel like doing all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just just collapsed onto the couch and like pulled out my phone, and it was like this moment of almost like giving myself what I needed, which was a little bit of time to just lie down. But it was like shrouded in this guilt because of how, 45 minutes ago I was thinking about making this meal and cleaning up this part of the house and accomplishing this and then getting ready to do something else, and I was like, wow, if I can let go of this idea that I had of this intense planning for the near future, then what I'm doing is fine and beautiful and relaxing. But I was gripping so tightly to this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Weeks go by and you're like, well, shouldn't you not be crying anymore?
Yeah.
Does this mean that something's wrong? Now it's a problem. The level of which I think it would have been okay has now been surpassed. So now I'm have to try to fix. It's like,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, it's like, look outside and, you know, learn a lesson from the way that the animals and the insects and the flowers flow, and don't expect anything from their tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just like a loving response to what is.
But it's, I'm thinking about making plans and then not following through. Why do we label that as a problem? Because we all make plans.
Yeah.
That's what we'd like to do. That's what we have to do. Probably both categories.
Yeah.
I suppose if we had to do them, we would be more apt to follow through. But if we got options, not so much.
Right. And like, where's that line of have to and want to? Because in reality, you don't have to do anything.
Right.
But a lot of things fall on the have to side of the line because of our care for the way things are, for the relationships we're in, for the wanting things to remain in a state of comfortableness that we expect. Not wanting to deal with the consequences.
Yeah. It'll make my life worse if I don't.
Right. Like if
it could.
Yeah, it could, right.
But that goes back to how we feel about it.
Yeah.
Kind of, my thinking's kind of at a dead end here. I need another breakthrough.
Yeah, I think
if you go back to the moment stuff again, that's the only time you have to actually do it.
Yeah.
In spite of all the lists you made. I think the answer's in there somewhere with the moment. Because what are you going to do right now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a nap. Okay. But then does your brain go to, but as soon as I get up, I'm going to do my list.
Yeah.
Well, your nap won't be worth a damn probably, but that's beside the point. But then when you get up, there you are again. Okay, what am I going to do? And you make a choice every single moment. And it's based on something at that time.
Mm.
If you're hungry, you'll probably fix something. You get really basic on it.
Yeah.
A lot there.
Yeah, my college friend who was gonna come hang out today, he texted me last week and he was just like, hey man, is it cool if I invite myself over on next Saturday and we can do some meditation and breathwork stuff?
Oh, wow.
I have the afternoon free from this conference. And I was like, I found it very beautiful the way that he said that, because it was not the way I always assume everyone talks to each other in a way.
Yeah.
Where he was just he was reaching out to me with the knowledge that is true, that if I was free, I did want him to come over.
Right.
And I'm so accustomed to people saying, hey, I'm going to be in Portland. Would you want to hang out? But he just was like, can I invite myself over to join in on this, and sit together in a spiritual practice, because I know that's something that you're into and I would love to share in that together.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt so direct that it was almost intimidating to me.
Yeah.
And it made me think that, oh, I have to prove to him that I am as spiritual as he thinks I am.
You made it a problem.
And I even responded and I was like, hey, yeah, man, I mean, I don't know if we'll have time to do breath work or anything. Maybe we can just talk. But then I was just thinking about how I was I felt so kind of scared about that. And last night, before I knew he was going to cancel, I was like, you know what? Why don't, it feels exciting to just be like, let's do it. Mm-hmm. To just say yes. And that's
it was really upfront the way he approached it.
Yeah.
Which was usually everybody's kind of hemming and hawing.
I know.
I don't want to.
I don't want to impose
myself. Yeah, impose on you. But At times I have people I don't normally talk to, and I see them. It's like, I don't have an agenda. Let's just talk.
Yeah.
It kind of take the pressure off of, oh, I'm sure he wants something, or something has to be proven one way or the other. But that goes back to that. I'm going to be on that problem thing for a while, I think, in my head.
Mm. Yeah.
I will have to ruminate on it.
Have you meditated today?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been doing it. I get up, make my coffee. I actually I have a little electric coffee warmer that I can put my cup on.
Mm.
So I take just a sip, and then I can put it on that thing, and it'll stay warm, and then I'll meditate. I've been doing the 20 minutes. There's a timer on my phone and everything from Tia. It just helps me be motivated, I guess.
Yeah.
Then it keeps track of how many times you meditate and that kind of thing. It's like, oh, okay. But, whatever that counting thing is doing for me, it's helping me to meditate more often.
Yeah,
that's like getting a star in grade school or kindergarten or something.
Right. That's interesting.
But I'm just surprised that, my ego keeps telling me these things have always happened. You just blow them off. You know what I mean? Like seeing that those people that I thought I knew but didn't.
Sure.
It was just those feelings.
Right.
It's like, oh, boy, I think something like that I would have latched onto, thinking, what the hell's the matter with me? Make it a problem.
Yeah.
But it was just way beyond that, and I was astonished, but I kind of laughed, which I've been doing a lot of too, at just the things that happen. It's been really exciting in a way too. When the realization hits you that you're full of shit, and you just gotta laugh and say, you got that one right. But it's been very freeing, I think, is a good word for it.
Freeing.
And I've bathed the Buddha doing a gazillion things like that. But, it's that, whatever you're doing, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make it a problem again, using our same phrase here.
Yeah.
And that is, just picking up around the house or something. I've never had to do that before. It was always done for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, just do it. Breathe. And then I'll start laughing because I know where it would have taken me if I would have continued with those thoughts.
Yeah.
I'd have made some snappy retort to Leota of some kind, maybe, or something. It's like, that's not get me anywhere. I would make it a problem again.
Right.
Are you tired of hearing me say that?
No.
I'm just making the phrase come alive in my life, I think.
Uh-huh. Yeah, dude, we're problem makers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I'm going to move on. I'll give you the opportunity to say hello to your grandmother.
Sure thing.
If she's not here and she didn't hear me, so you can say, I don't think so. Or yes.
That would be great.
Okay, let's not be so long on our next one, should we?
Agreed.
I got to process all this. I'll be ready to come back at you next time.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay, take care. Here's Leota.
All right.
Say hi, Christy. Okay.
Hi, Wes.
Hi, Grandma.
How are you?
I am good.
Good.
How are you?
Okay.
Good.
What are you up to?
Well, it is like a super sunny, warm day out here in Portland. And Lane and I have been out in the backyard just doing some spring cleaning of the old leaves and brush and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's felt good to be outside for kind of one of the first times. Feels like the end of winter out here.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So did you have a rockin' time while Grandpa was gone?
Beth came and stayed with me,
Oh, fun.
and we had a good time together.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So, do you ever see your mother?
I haven't seen her in a while. But I'm gonna be coming back home in the fall. So I'll see everybody then, and I'll come visit you and Grandpa as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Have to wait a few months.
yes. But yeah, it feels good now that it's not just up in the air, being saying, well, sometime.
Mm-hmm.
But early fall, I should be back.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So I'll just finish out the summer out here.
So, how are you and Lane doing?
We are doing good, really good.
Mm-hmm.
We're both just, it's funny, we both have work where we both have clients that we go help support. I've been working with more of the elderly folks, and Lane works with like young people that have some disabilities.
Uh-huh.
And so it feels good, lots of days of the week we both come home after helping people out, and it's satisfying work for us both.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you two will ever get married?
I don't know. It's a possibility on the horizon, though.
That's good.
Yeah. I think we definitely see ourselves being in each other's lives for a long time. So,
Mm-hmm.
not sure about the marriage timeline, but we're both open to it at some point, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Feels good. She feels like my family now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long have you been together?
It's been about 3 years now.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how long you and Grandpa were together before you guys got married?
Golly, no, I don't. It was maybe a couple of years,
Uh-huh.
but I had seen him in high school and knew who he was, and I thought he was going to marry this other girl.
Oh, wow.
But he didn't. And he saw me somewhere one time, and I was with a girl that he knew, and so he asked her you know, who I was and where I lived and everything. And then I got a call from him for a date.
All right. Cool.
So maybe it was about a year that we went together.
Long time ago.
Yeah. We were married in 1962, and June. And your dad was born in 1963 in June. And then 2 years later, Beth was born in June.
Yep.
Of 65.
This is our 62nd anniversary. Married in 68. This is our 65th.
That Grandpa says that in June we'll be married 62 years.
Wow. 62.
Yeah.
That's
we
like
were married in 1962, and now it'll be 62 years.
It's like your golden anniversary.
The 30th of June.
Cool. We love June in our family.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. Well.
So who do you work for now?
It's a company that's called Home Instead, and they connect me with different people who are looking for some extra help around the house, so that, you know, before they have to think about moving into like an assisted living facility.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's good. Everyone's really appreciative of being able to stay in their own home for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And what does Bling work for?
Her company is called Artsify. And they just run like different apartment buildings where young adults with intellectual disabilities can live and live independently.
Oh.
Yeah, so she helps out a couple of times a week for different patients with just like either like going out for lunch and meeting up with friends, or household tasks for people that are in wheelchairs and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, all of that keeps you busy, I guess.
It does. Yeah. And it is kind of nice because, you know, it's a much different feeling. You know, it's not like just going into an office job and clocking in. It's like knocking on someone's home each morning and being able to help out. And I make breakfast for a couple of people every day, and
Uh-huh.
so yeah, it doesn't feel as stressful because it's more people oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was great to talk to you.
Good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Hope you have a good weekend.
Thank you. I think we will.
You're going to be watching the bowl game?
I don't know. Probably not. I haven't been really interested in football over the years.
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard that if you bought a ticket and went to the bowl game, it was about $9,000.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
It is.
Yes, I can't see myself ever going to the Super Bowl in my life.
Not for that amount of money.
Nope. Maybe if I like win a contest or something.
Well, you take care.
I will. You too. I'll talk to you and
Okay.
Grandpa later.
Okay. Love you, sweet bud.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.